Hello, this is the FF Live XV11, and today it is Moaning Mondays. If you've probably seen my update, then you probably know that already. But every Monday I'm going to moan about something, and today I'm actually going to be focusing on an anime which was released of winter 2016. You'll probably know this anime as soon as I say that it's 3D. It's completely 3D, and that might piss a few people off, but this anime is quite beautiful. It's quite beautiful with the 3D aspect to it. It can be a bit clunky at times, but still, it's a really nice anime. I'm not going to totally put Salis on that point though. I'm going to point out the faults and weaknesses in it as well. So I'm not going to say, yeah, watch it straight away just based on the fact that it's really goodly made. Really beautiful in that aspect, really. This is actually by Sanzugen. This is a company which produced the Black Rock Shooter series and the 009 Re-Cyborg series. So they have a few good ones under the belt. They've also made a few other ones, and this was actually to celebrate their 10-year anniversary. So they've been formed now for 10 years. And this was like let's do a special thing for our 10 years. So this is a completely original. It's not based on a manga, it's not based on a game, which most anime nowadays you find. It's really unique to find one that was originally published, like Kill La Kill. That's original. It wasn't based on a manga, it wasn't based on a game, and that was amazing, if I do say so myself. It was an amazing fighting one. So basically, the anime under question is called Bubuki Buranki. Basically what this is, you have the Buranki, which is, it's kind of like a mechant type thing with Power Rangers, where you have different things that slot into different places. So you have the main body, which is the heart, you have the left leg, you have the left arm, the right arm, left leg, right leg. So that forms into the title thing, so it's like a team type thing. And as you can guess, with each of these, they always have a main character, which is kind of the softy type character, which always supports them. And his name comes under Kazuki Azuma. So Kazuki Azuma is a kind of, they're meant to all be 16 years old, but as soon as you see them, you can think, they look 12. They all look 12, which makes some development later on in the story really, really disturbing in the fact that they only look 12. So the age margin isn't really that established in this. But you have, as I said, Kazuki Azuma is the kind of team leader, and as you can learn from the first episode, he's also a twin. And the reason all this is set off is because he and his sister were messing about on this place called Treasure Island, which his mum's looking after. And this is like 10 years ago. And then, so they're only 6 years old. And then they set it off, they bring these Buranki down to Earth, which are kind of kept up there to keep Earth safe, so his mum's kind of a guardian. And then they set it off, and then they end up having to go to Earth as protection. So their mum stays up there and protects the old place. This is basic thing. I'm not spoiling anything for you because that's learned in the first episode. And I was kind of expecting the sister to be kind of the main character. It was really disappointing when it turned out to be him. But as soon as the thing came on, I was like, oh, that's 3D. It's definitely 3D. As I was saying, you have the Buranki, and then you have the Bubuki, which are the individual slots. So, after saying that, it kind of falls under the typical stereotype of main character type themes. You have the angry one, you have the one with glasses, you have the shy one, you have the stupid one, you have the one that's a genius but it's kind of silent and you don't get the genius vibe off it. You have the crush, the intentional love interest and all that. And to start off, the intentional love interest kind of falls under a character called Kogane Asabuki, and she is the right arm. So her actual Bubuki is called Nigime, which is basically Nigi is right hand, which is if you ever watched what's it called? Psycho. I forgot what it's called. I'll put it in the description though. You probably know. Parasite. That's what it's called. Parasite. Which is one that came out last year, which was quite a good one. Bit basic in the stuff that it interpreted, but it was still a really good one out there, so you might want to give that a try as well. So Parasite, give it a try. It's actually based on a manga that came out like 1980, so this is really amazing for a time. And it's been updated and all that, and some bits change and all that. One thing that you want to do when you watch an anime is look at the manga, because you can miss a load of little bits of detail, because most of the time in an anime it gets rushed, because they either catch up with the manga or they just can't be bothered and give it an alternative ending, which was disappointing in the Akamaka Kill, if you watched that last year. And this is a bit of flying here, lovely. And moving on from that, I'll go on to the more basic characters. So, like I said, Kogane Asabuki is the kind of love interest who has a traumatic past, who's kind of like, oh, you killed someone important to me, so I hate you. So she has them moments of just pure intense, which is kind of cool, because she's not that basic shy character. She has a kind of little bit of tsundere to her. Moving on from that, you have the left arm, which comes in the form of Kinao Oga. She's the basic glasses wearing, hard ass type character, which you get in most anime nowadays. Most of them fall into stereotypes, and that's how it's a bit weak at some points, by the fact it falls under these stereotypes. But it's still, you get each of the characters and you get why they're actually like that. And sometimes it comes off a bit harsh though, because the story isn't real. It's kind of typical, the story is. And with the way that it's going, and we're up to episode 8 now, and it's meant to be scheduled for 12 episodes, because it came out on January 9th. And it just seems really rushed. And that's the downer point of it. It's so rushed that I think it's going to destroy the whole plot in the end. If it's anything like some ones that I watched recently, where at the end it's so rushed that they end up just throwing a bloody mechan out there, or some giant beast, it's like, what the hell is that? Like, if you've ever seen Blood Minus C, where for some reason they just bring out this entire CGI monster for like 10 seconds, which she defeats like that. It's like, oh god, that was quite terrible. Okay, then, so you've got the main character, who's the heart of it, the heart of the show, and then you've got the love interest, you've got the glasses type character. Moving on, you've got the kind of leader. He wants to be the leader, but he's not really the leader. So that'll be the left leg. He's called Hiragi Nono, and he reminds me of Len, or Ren if you want to call him, from Shaman King, where it's just like, I'm going to be the main, I'm the strongest and all that malarkey. But then you kind of, as the series is going on, you kind of learn a little bit about their past, because it's 12 episodes. It ain't going to be in detail past, so that really lets it down, the fact that you ain't getting on an emotional level with them. You get the basic stuff and all that, and you have them fighting the common enemies, like, oh, you're the right hand, so you'll fight the right hand person, where it's like there's this transformer thing which they just put it all together and that's it, and they do that. Okay, moving on, you've got him, who's kind of the leader type, bloody stereotype, and then you got the next character, and this is the actual last one of the team, and she's called Chizuru Taniomi, I think that's her name. And she's kind of, it's quite funny when you see these characters, because you think that they're all Dante, and it turns out they're geniuses in the end, and she's kind of really funny in that aspect. So that's kind of my favourite character so far in the whole series, just by the fact it's quite funny. The one thing is, though, you won't be disappointed in fight scenes, because fight scenes, they come thick and fast, but some of them are really well done. But then the story is too typical. You have the common enemy, and this actually comes in the form of Regyu. Sorry, my voice is going there. Ryoko. And this person is kind of just like the enemy, but I think she'll probably end up being a kind of good guy type thing. It's like circumstantial enemy, and she kind of knew Azuma's mother. You find all this out in the first episode, so I'm not spoiling anything for you, so you'll find that in the first episode. But it seems it does that, you get little hints, and it's kind of pushing you in these directions where it's too typical for a kind of anime type feel. And then she has her own team of 4 people, which you know will probably end up fighting them. And it's just, that type of source to it. It has the source of the main characters fighting other teams and all that from around the world, and then you just got that basic plot point of it. So, with that said, it's quite a well-made anime, but it's just falls under all the typical stereotypes. It's really worth a watch though. It's worth a watch if you're a fan of fighting or mecha type stuff, and also if you're a fan of Power Rangers, because it has that Power Rangers type theme definitely. It's like there's a sequence in the opening where it's just like, the opening is actually quite good as well, because the opening and ending have English voices in them, so you get an enjoyment. I'll actually put a little bit of clip here. I'll put a link down in the description, let me say, I think, of the opening and ending themes. They're really good, and it really gets the blood kicking when you actually hear them, so that's really enjoying of the series. So I'm going to put this as a watch because it is quite good, and it's an enjoyment. Most people give it a kick because it is 3D, but it's like most anime nowadays uses 3D aspects. And as I mentioned before, Kill La Kill, that used 3D in some of the fight scenes. I was sat there watching it and it's like, oh, that's got 3D in the fight scenes, hasn't it? And it looks really clunky, but this is so beautifully done that you'll forgive it. You forgive that fact of 3D. If you enjoyed Ruby as well, you enjoy this because it's got a lot better animation quality. I'm not kicking Ruby because Ruby is a really amazing anime. And let's say animation because it's American, really, but it's based on anime, so I don't know. It's kind of anime, it'll be called. So that's kind of how it falls. If you want that fighting and that 3D, it's just a real enjoyment. So I'm gonna give this a watch. Watch if you like fighting and all that, but definitely not a watch if you're looking for a really good story, because it don't seem to be the best of the bunch. So I'm going to put that as a watch, and I'll put that here. Booch. So this has been the first review. I'll leave a like, comment and subscribe, and just comment to see how you think I did this and how well I did, and if I can improve and all that, and what you think I should do next time. I am thinking about doing next week a top 10 Yuri, because I've watched a load of those and I can give you a good thumbs up for them. So that's the FF Life X V11. And now it's time to say goodbye, and I'll see you in the next one. And my voice is going, so sorry about that.